I learned about Fairhaven from a tape from Focus on the Family, and I love to explore, and I came one time just to check it out. I chose a day that Mother Nature decided to snow, and I also came from Asheville and got lost. So I called the lady on duty, and she said, "Don't worry, we'll wait for you." And by the time I had come up, which is now Ripshin Mountain Road, in the snow, my nerves were pretty shot. I was nervous. I didn't bring any food with me. I didn't know that it was so far out in the country. But I was welcomed with open arms and love, a turkey sandwich, even dessert. And ever since that time, I've always prayed when it's time to leave, "Lord, please don't let this be the last time I come here." My husband and I were church planters, and we were both in our 50s. Church planters should be in their 20s or 30s because it takes a lot of energy. And about 2 years into the church plant, I began to burn out. We were going through other difficulties. My father-in-law was in the latter part of Alzheimer's. We had a very difficult session to deal with. I had left my job, which I loved, at a public library because we had moved to be near where our church plant was. And I reached a point where I was in such a dark place. I didn't want to hurt my husband's ministry, but I just felt like I couldn't go on. And I began seeing a Christian counselor, and I just felt like I needed to get away. And Fairhaven was the place that God sent me to really begin to heal. My parents are both deceased. I have no siblings, and we weren't able to have children, so I had nowhere to go. And I thought of Fairhaven, and when I came, I stayed for 2 weeks, and I really felt the Lord beginning to heal me. I found out that it's not selfish to take care of yourself before all the sheep in the church. The counselor on staff helped me greatly just to process what I was feeling, process what we had been through. But for me personally, Fairhaven is like that camp that you could hardly wait to get to when you were a kid, that you would actually count the days. Well, Fairhaven is my adult camp. It's the place I love to go the most. I'm an artist and a photographer, and this place, just the sky, the view of the mountains, the walk on the trails, the waterfalls, all of it is just so healing for me. There's no peace or quiet like Fairhaven. It just gives you a place, it gives you the space to finally walk into your unit and know it's just you and God, and the phone's not going to ring. Your neighbor's not going to ask for a loaf of bread, or you just know that you can relax and be calm, and that is priceless to me. Because I'm such a visual person, I've seen so many wonderful wildlife moments here. Just the other night, I heard a stomp and a snort, and I thought, okay, it's either a bear or it's a buck. Well, it was a buck. He did it 2 nights in a row. It's when I had come up to the little phone booth here to call my husband every night. And when I went out, and this is not only hunting season, but it's also mating season for deer. So when a buck stomps and snorts, you move. But as far as memories, I think a lot of it is visual for me. The fact that they're so close to the state park of Roan Mountain. I go there as often as I can, especially the rhododendrons when they're in bloom. The wild azaleas are incredibly beautiful. It's just such a wonderful place. I come here often in the spring and the fall. There's a place that they have a naturalist rally, and I love God's creation. And when you go to the rally, you get to go on hikes with people, you get to learn things. There are professors that come and teach you all about everything from birds, snakes, salamanders, but for me that's heaven. To use a phrase from an old John Denver song, Fairhaven is like coming home to a place you've never been before. To me, it's my second home, and I'm trying to make it our first home because my husband and I have been looking to move down here when he retires. Fairhaven was created for people that have been in the ministry that are healthy enough to know that they need to get away and rest, or have gotten to the point of burnout like I did. It's a place where you can truly rest. The staff will do anything for you. They will leave you alone and give you complete solitude. If you need someone to talk to, they're there for you. They are such a good team. I've watched them over the years. I've watched how they interact. I've watched how they really care about one another, that they truly are servants. I came recently for the pastor's wife retreat. It's the first time I've been able to attend that. And even the men on staff served us the meals, and they did it in such a kind, caring way. It was just such a picture of Christ. I believe what he's doing is he's keeping his shepherds and their mates healthy. I believe he's keeping people in ministry that might have given up or gotten so discouraged they couldn't continue. I know that a tremendous number of missionaries come. I know a tremendous number of pastors and wives come. It's just such an unusual ministry in that they are caring for the ones that are out in the battle lines. It's kind of like a ceasefire zone. I have to say that Jesus wanted his people to be healthy. He even said, come away a while. And if he's telling his own disciples that, it's just as valid for us today. When you're healthy, you have your energy, you've gotten a good night's sleep, you're much more able to serve the Lord in witnessing to people, in listening to people, in touching other lives that are also broken and hurting, which most people are. I think it helps pastors and their spouses and anyone that comes here. It helps you to have time in the Word. It helps you to really hear His voice because of the quiet here. First of all, I would like to say, if you can possibly send your pastor or any missionaries that may be home on furlough here, I tell people all the time that you need to go to Fairhaven simply because there's no place else like it. I've been to many other Christian retreat places, but Fairhaven is so unique in the way that it just gives you time to truly rest. And in our society, we're so busy, we're so overwhelmed, we're constantly having our to-do lists. If you could send people here, if you come here yourself and find out, you'll be amazed at how God can give you the rest you need. Well, another thing that really impresses me about Fairhaven is they are totally dependent on the Lord's leading. They don't make snap decisions. They pray about things for months, maybe years, about how they can better change Fairhaven if it's necessary. Praying for this ministry, you're going to be lifting the hands of these people that they too need rest. They too need God's quiet time, and just praying for Fairhaven would be truly a gift, I think. What I'm currently doing is I'm a year-round volunteer for Operation Christmas Child. I'm on the church relations team. And my husband, we did eventually step down from the pastorate, and the pastor and his wife that replaced us have graciously asked us to worship there, which we've done for 2 years. Well, my husband is now assistant pastor. They asked him to become assistant pastor. So right now, my job is tell him I'm his support staff. So I'm my husband's support staff, and then I get to do what I love, which is Operation Christmas Child. Fairhaven was a godsend for me. You've heard the phrase, between a rock and a hard place. I was in a very dark place when I came here for my sabbatical. I was having very dark thoughts. I was depressed. I was very depressed. I didn't know where else to go or what else to do. I didn't want to hurt my husband. I didn't want to hurt the ministry, but I knew I had to get away. And when I came here, it was almost like I crawled up Ripshin Mountain Road. I was just so worn out and so in such a dark place, but yet God turned it around here for me. The counselor on staff at the time, when I was ready to leave, he said, "Are you fixed?" And I said, "No, but I'm better." And he said, "That's the right answer." Fairhaven time, it's such a precious time to come here because you truly can just leave everything behind and go into your unit, or into your cabin or cottage, and just be alone with the Lord and really relax, and no one is going to bother you. It truly gives you a chance to heal, because that's what it did for me.